Principle two, there are a lot of techniques to get to know yourself better. Making your resume is a good one. Another thing to think about, of course, is reflecting on decisions you've made, and that's what I'd like to share with you right now. One of the tools we use at Interview Logic that I love is what we call a decision arc. A decision arc is where you put in your upper right-hand area your goal, and your goal might be very different than someone else's. It's your ultimate career goal, like VP of operations, or I would like to be a surgeon that's well known in a hospital, or I would like to be a part of a nonprofit, or some of you might have something a little crazy, like I'd like to be a clown in the rodeo. Whatever your ultimate goal is, this is your personal diagram, and so you can work on it. For me, I want to be an entrepreneur. I've made it. And where did I start thinking about that? The bottom left-hand corner is when I was 12 years old. Now, some people, usually it's in undergrad. The next thing you want to do is draw your arc, and then right away start plotting on the paper major decisions and activities. We'll start with the bubbles. The circles or bubbles would be a major chunk on your resume. So for me, right after undergrad, I went to Accenture. I would put the bubble above the curve if it's something I did well and liked. Let's go with what I like to do. And if it's something I didn't really want but I had to take it, I'll put that bubble below the curve. And you'll understand this better in a minute. Now, around that bubble, I want you to write down likes and dislikes. Be very honest. Like at Accenture, I love the team. I love the smart people. I love the pace. I didn't really like the fact that we did the same kind of work over and over again. And if I never see Scott again, that would be good. You can put personal stuff like that down. What made it a little uncomfortable or less fun for you? Then everything in life we know never stays the same. So typically with your work, there'll be some kind of a migration downward, some kind of movement where it's a little less fun. And that's where we think about why that happened. And that's really important to understand you and your decisions. It then moved to the less than expected or not so great zone. You might have some bubbles that started out there because you took a job that you had to take for some reason. Now here's the cool part. You are here today because you're someone who likes to get things done. You're an achiever, and that means that you don't sit around. You actually move to something new. A lot of you, when you get miserable in your job, found a new job or went off to school. So I want you to plot these things and think about the decisions you made. Also, plot down where you want to go today. It's important to think about telling people what you want to do and why, because there might be a gap between your goal today and your long-term goal. Now, we do all this work for the ultimate takeaway, which are themes about yourself. When you look at this map, you'll see that you made decisions because of things you liked. You made decisions because of things you didn't like, and now you have threads. So when someone says to you, tell me about yourself, you don't do a chronological, boring story where you say, well, I went to undergrad here, and then I went to this, and then I had this job. You say, well, one thing you should know about me is I'm a team player. I love working in environments where I get to work with groups, and we get projects done in short periods of time. That's why I'm really interested in your work. Speaking of short periods of time, another theme about me is I love pace and getting things done. You now can tell a very compelling story, and you know your value. Now, you might have 6 or 7 threads about yourself, and you only highlight a couple of them, but that's going to be really important that you put forward what matters the most to the interviewer.